Joining us now is Republican Nebraska Congressman Don Bacon. He sits on the House Armed Services Committee. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
What do you expect to happen during this meeting today with the two leaders?
Well, first of all, Honduras is very important when it comes to counter drug operations, but also the illegal refugees that come in through Mexico. I've been to Honduras when I was a brigadier general. I got to meet General Sotocano, who shot down several aircraft in one of their wars. And it's, for a long time, it's been a very pivotal place for counter drug operations. So I would suspect that the president or the administration will be focusing on how we can work together to stop the shipment through Central America into Mexico that gets in through Texas, all the drugs, but also how we can continue to secure our border. And by the way, I think the president should announce victory on the border. I mean, it was one of his two big promises during the campaign, and illegal immigration over the border is basically zero right now. He should declare victory and then figure out how we can reform our legal immigration system, because most Americans want that too.
Let's turn now to the Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu set to meet with President Trump in Washington. That's on Wednesday. They plan to discuss negotiations with Iran. The meeting comes after officials from the U.S. and Iran met on Friday to discuss their nuclear program. The president says that he believes that they are ready to make a deal. Here's what he said on Air Force One.
Iran looks like it wants to make a deal very badly. We have to see what that deal is. But I think Iran looks like they want to make a deal very badly, as they should. Last time they decided maybe not to do it, but I think they probably feel differently. We'll see.
But we've also seen these satellite photos showing Iran as rebuilding several nuclear sites that were hit previously by the U.S. and Israel just last year. And then just after these talks, President Trump signed an executive order threatening tariffs on any nation that does any kind of business with Iran. So do you think that a serious and solidified deal can truly be reached?
Short answer is no. Iran's not going to make a deal with us if they plan on keeping. They hate us. I served in Iraq and Afghanistan. In Iraq alone, 609 Americans were killed by Shia militias that were funded, led, armed by the IRGC of Iran. And it goes way beyond just Iraq. These guys hate us. And I think the president's dug himself a hole here that he's going to have to get out of. He made a commitment publicly that if the Iranian people would take on their government, try to take over their institutions, that America would be there to help them. They did stand up.
Right.
And between 30 and 50,000 Iranians were executed in this past month. And I think the only answer left is for America to side with the Iranian people and to get rid of this regime once and for all. And ultimately, that's the only way we're going to have peace with Iran, because this regime will never make peace with the United States of America.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Congressman, you sit on the House of Armed Services Committee. The United States is building up its military presence in the Middle East, sending several aircraft carriers and ships to the Arabian Sea. And recently, President Trump has made several threats to use force against Iran. Have you and your committee been notified about any of this movement? And how would U.S. intervention in the region potentially impact nuclear talks moving forward?
It wouldn't be ordinary for the president to contact all the members of the Armed Services Committee,
Okay.
maybe the chairman and the ranking member, if there's sensitive operations coming forward. Operational security is very important, so I wouldn't expect it. But let me just stress again, I believe that the vast majority of us think the president has to take action. He made a commitment to the Iranian people. If they stepped up and resisted and opposed the regime, that we would be there to help them. And estimates say 50,000 Iranians have been murdered. And so for us to do nothing, I think at this point is unacceptable. The president has to live up to his commitments, I believe. And that doesn't mean we have to be totally overt. It could be very covert. There's a lot of different ways to go about this. But if I was sitting in the White House right now, I would be focused on how do I get rid of this regime and restore a government that's for the Iranian people, that wants peace with its neighbors.
Okay, let's talk about the U.S. The administration unveiling another way that it plans to tackle Americans' concerns over affordability, especially ahead of the midterms. The president announcing the creation of what's called TrumpRx. It's a website that allows people to buy prescription drugs at a discount. The move, though, is getting pushed back from the other side of the aisle. Ron Wyden, the ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee, releasing a statement saying every American familiar with a Trump record knows that all roads in TrumpRx will lead to Trump's pocket. He went on to say that the move is nothing more than a glorified coupon book and advances the GOP's agenda to undermine affordable health care for Americans. Do you think that Americans will and should buy into this prescription program?
I'm not sure why Senator Wyden would say this, because on the surface, this sounds like a great plan. Most Americans are offended that we have companies here selling drugs to Americans at a much higher price than they're selling the same drugs in Europe and all over the world. And I've even asked the questions to leaders of these companies, and I can't get a straight answer from them. So I think it's very appropriate for the president to tackle this. Now, I think the devil's in the details. I'm a conservative. I believe in free markets. I don't believe in the government dictating prices. But it's unacceptable that Americans are being charged significantly more than other countries for the same drugs made by American companies. So with the little I know right now of what this plan is, I like it, and I think we should go down this path. But devil's in the details. I think Senator Wyden should be an American first on this. Let's get some cheaper drugs, or drugs that are at least on the same level of price that the rest of the countries are paying for this. And so I'd like to see this come to fruition.
All right. Republican Nebraska Congressman Don
Thank
Bacon,
you.
appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.